Hey everyone, it's Victoria, and if you are watching this on a Monday, it's because I have successfully recorded 2 YouTube episodes in 1 week. But I have a topic that I've been wanting to cover for a while. It was on my list, but it's really hot right now, so I moved it up, and I'm actually going to post this on a Monday so we can get this information out. It's a big pain point in the coding industry, and it's something that I think is hitting us a little hard right now, and that is cross coverage of the coding department. Coders like to specialize in an area, and it's good for coders to specialize in certain areas, have a certain area of expertise. It makes them feel, confident about something, and that's great. But we do kind of follow suit like nurses. You can't take a nurse that's been in the pediatric ICU for the past 6 years and then just transfer her over to an OBGYN practice and expect everything to run smoothly. It takes a long time for them to adjust, even though they still are a nurse and know nursing. It's a new specialty. Same thing with coders. If it's a new specialty, you can't just go, oh, well, you're a coder, you can code anything. A coder that's been coding E&Ms can't just be uprooted and code surgeries. Cross-training your coding staff is absolutely crucial. So for example, you might have Susan in your department, and Susan is the bomb at neurosurgery coding. No one can understand and code neurosurgery like Susan can. But here's the problem. Now Susan wants to go on a vacation for 10 or 14 days. Susan comes back and no one's coded neurosurgery. And now Susan is pissed because no one's touched her stuff in 2 weeks. So she has to play catch up. And she's upset, and you know what's going to happen is now she's stressed out. Now maybe she's going to make more mistakes in neurosurgery. She's not happy with her employer because no one was able to help her out. She might hesitate now to take extra days off because she figures she's just going to have to work twice as hard when she gets back. And potentially she might wind up leaving that organization, and turnaround is expensive. Not to mention that you just lost a frickin' bomb neurosurgery coder. She might be able to go and get a remote position in California where they're going to pay her a heck of a lot more. You want to make sure that you are nurturing these coders and giving them the appropriate cross coverage so that they feel like they're allowed to take a vacation day. Or like some of the cases that we have now with COVID-19, some of those elective surgeries are going to the wayside. Now we have all these surgical coders who have time opened up, and we might need to uproot them and move them over to telehealth. But if they don't know anything about E&M coding, they're not going to be very helpful. So it's important to have those cross coverage, and cross coverage isn't really a hard process to operationalize if you have the right tools. And I'm going to show you those today. Now, before I show you these tools, I want to make 2 things very clear. Number 1, yes, I am wearing a Batman t-shirt today. I am of the mindset that if it is a casual day and you wear a t-shirt and put a cardigan or even a blazer on it, it's business casual. And not only am I wearing a Batman t-shirt, but I have matching earrings, okay? So we're going to address that. The second thing I want to address is I do not take in any way, shape, or form credit for this. I actually learned how to do cross coverage as part of lean management when I was trained at Lancaster General Health, who is a fully lean integrated organization. So this is not something I've developed. It's something that's just been around, and I'm going to show you as well how you can use these tools to help you in your coding department. Okay, come in real close. I'm going to show you. And like all good things, it starts with Google. So you're going to go into Google, you're going to search Lean Six Sigma cross training, okay? And it will take you to here. If you want to go directly to the site, I'll give you a link as well. It's golean6sigma.com, and it'll take you to this cross training matrix. So this is a free resource. It is 100% absolutely free. You can download it for free on this website, golean6sigma.com. And this will provide you a really great tool that you can download on how to help track the cross-training of your staff. So this is the template that's available, and it will help you list all of your employees, list all of your specialties, and you can see if they're untrained, in training, trained, seasoned, or a trainer. So one of the first things you need to do is define what this means for your organization. So my suggestion would be, if this is the circle that's not at all filled in, that person has no skills whatsoever in that specialty. And I'll show you an example in a second. If they're in training, that might mean that maybe that coder sat with that person of that specialty. So we'll say the neurosurgery example. They sat with that person. They were explained what the process is for getting the charges in. They looked at some sample notes together. They talked about different types of procedures that they might be coding for. So they spent maybe, you know, a couple of half days or a whole day just in some sort of introductory training for that specialty. When they might be halfway is if the coders have sat together and the coder that's in training has coded some of the cases themselves. So they've been handed maybe some of the easy cases or some of the maybe easy and middle grade cases, and have sat, coded them, gone back to the trainer, and they've discussed those cases and kind of looked over that, so that they've spent maybe now a couple of days doing training. Where they get to seasoned is when they, for the most part, feel comfortable coding it for themselves, except for maybe some really hard cases. Maybe they have to put those aside for the person who's really specialized in that specialty. And then of course the trainer is when they feel that they're so good at it they can train someone else. So let's take a look at a coding example that I have here. So here's our Susan Smith, and she's our bomb neurosurgery coder. But now when we fill out this grid, we can see, oh my God, if something happens to Susan and she goes out, we have no one else trained in neurosurgery. So now we can identify gaps. We can also use this for when our coding staff is looking for days off. So maybe here Deborah, who codes dermatology, needs a day off, and Laura Coder here decides, oh yeah, I want to take that same day off. Well, if Deb got in first and she got her request in, and then Laura came in second, we might have to say to Laura, hey, sorry, you're the only person that can cover for Deborah. She already got her time off request in for, you know, 4th of July weekend, which everybody wants. So, you know, we don't mind giving you a day off, but you maybe are going to have to move it to another time, so that we make sure that we have cross coverage for dermatology. So it's an excellent way of just identifying those gaps and where you're going to need to train some resources now, so that we have appropriate cross coverage, so that everyone feels like they're allowed to take a vacation day, and that if, you know, God forbid something would happen to Susan Smith here, that we would have someone available that can cover for some of that neurosurgery. So now once you've got this all together and you can identify your gaps, you can start working on your training plan. You know, what's the priority? What are the surgeries that are the highest priority that we need to start cross-training some people on? You know, is it those high dollar surgeries? Is it E&M? You know, start figuring that out and develop your training plan. It might even be something to take to those team huddles, print it out, put it on your huddle board and go, hey team, you know, we see that Susan Smith here is the only person that knows neurosurgery. So is anyone here willing to learn some additional neurosurgery so that we have appropriate coverage? So now you have the team working together, and they can see those opportunities. They can visualize them and go, oh yeah, you know, I might like to learn neurosurgery. That's something I'm kind of interested in. I'll be happy to sit with Susan Smith and learn some neurosurgery. And you know what, maybe then I can teach her some of my bariatrics or how to do E&Ms. You know, you really kind of pull the team together, and they know, you know, how important it is to work as a team to make sure that we're covering each other, that we all feel like we are allowed to have a day off. And again, this isn't anything new. This is a normal Lean Six Sigma type of thing. It's a free resource you can go online and use. But I think sometimes, you know, we get so overwhelmed with operationalizing things, we don't realize maybe how easy some of these tools are. If you want to learn some other cool Lean Six Sigma techniques, I picked this book up a few years ago, Practical Lean Six Sigma for Healthcare. And it does cover cross coverage and a whole bunch of other stuff like the 8 wastes and so forth. I've always kind of liked it. You can probably pick it up on Amazon or what have you. So coders, if there's no one right now that can cover you in your department and your boss doesn't know how to operationalize it, send them this video, and make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and you subscribe so you don't miss any more of these helpful updates. You know, it really does help me out when everyone subscribes, because that helps me make more content. It really does help my channel, and I'm so excited. I'm over 200 subscribers now. Like I said, when I hit 1,000, I'm just gonna, I think, probably have some giveaways and stuff. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, just keep on coding on.